guitar riffs got louder, drum machines pounded through every speaker. And in 1986, rock bands pushed harder, faster, and bolder than ever before. These songs weren't just hits, they were anthems, blasting from car radios and MTV screens, turning everyday life into an endless summer. Let's count down 10 unforgettable rock songs from 1986. Number 10, Your Love, The Outfield. Few songs bottle the bittersweet rush of summer like Your Love. Released in early 1986, this British trio's breakout hit wrapped jangling guitars around a chorus you couldn't forget if you tried. Frontman Tony Lewis's vocals soar above John Spinks's shimmering guitar, giving the track an energy that's both urgent and laid back. The band recorded it at Air Studios in London, capturing a sound that felt fresh on both sides of the Atlantic. Lyrically, it's a little bit cheeky, a little bit longing, and all heart. Lines like, "I just want to use your love tonight," gave the song its playful, dangerous edge. Your Love cracked the US top 10 and became a staple on American rock radio, but its real legacy is in how it never left the airwaves. Number 9, Take Me Home Tonight, Eddie Money. If you could bottle the electricity of 80s radio, it would sound a lot like Take Me Home Tonight. By 1986, Eddie Money was already a rock radio staple, but this single became his ultimate comeback. The track leaps from the speakers, fusing classic rock grit with pop's glossy confidence. And when Ronnie Spector's unmistakable voice echoes in the chorus, it's pure time travel, linking the spirit of the 60s to the heart of the 80s. Recorded at Record Plant in Los Angeles, the song almost didn't happen. Money's team wasn't sure a duet with the former Ronettes star would work. But once they got her into the studio, the magic was instant. Her iconic "Be My Little Baby" refrain turned a strong single into a cultural moment. The result? A track that soared to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, revived Eddie Money's career and gave Spector her biggest spotlight in decades. More than just a hit, Take Me Home Tonight is the sound of risk paying off. Joyous, bold, and impossible to hear without singing along. Number 8, Walk This Way. Some collaborations shake up music. This one changed it forever. Walk This Way wasn't just a cover, it was a collision. When Run DMC and Aerosmith joined forces in 1986, they built a bridge between worlds that had rarely even nodded at each other. The result was explosive. Hip-hop swagger fused to rock's raw power, and suddenly everyone from MTV to Middle America was listening. The track began as a simple idea from producer Rick Rubin, who wanted to reimagine Aerosmith's 1975 classic with new energy. Steven Tyler and Joe Perry jumped in, lending vocals and guitars that clashed and danced with Run DMC's beats and rhymes. The recording at Magic Venture Studios in New York was rowdy, improvisational, and by all accounts, a little chaotic. When the music video dropped, showing the literal wall coming down between the bands, it became a visual metaphor for what was happening in music. Walk This Way shot up the charts and cracked the mainstream wide open, making hip-hop a household name and giving Aerosmith a second act. 3 decades later, it still hits like a sledgehammer, infectious, rebellious, and boundary-breaking. Number 7, Glory of Love. Sometimes a song becomes the heartbeat of an era. Glory of Love did just that, not just as a chart-topping single, but as the emotional core of The Karate Kid Part 2. Fresh out of Chicago, Peter Cetera set out on his own and landed an anthem that sounded tailor-made for every hopeful romance and movie montage of the 80s. Written by Cetera, David Foster, and Diane Ninny, the song was recorded in Los Angeles and built around a soaring melody that put Cetera's crystal-clear tenor front and center. The production is lush with swelling keyboards and steady drums, setting the stage for lyrics about sacrifice and devotion, lines that could only belong to the final scene of a blockbuster love story. Glory of Love climbed all the way to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned both Grammy and Oscar nominations. But its real power is how it instantly brings back images of underdog victories and big screen heartbreaks. For many, it's more than a song, it's a memory in motion, capturing the hope and drama of an unforgettable summer. Number 6, Addicted to Love. There are songs you hear and songs you see. Addicted to Love is both. From the first sharp riff to the last icy smirk, Robert Palmer's 1986 smash was impossible to escape. Built on a mechanical groove and delivered with steely confidence, the track turned Palmer from cult favorite into a global sensation. Recorded at Compass Point Studios in the Bahamas, the song owes its pulse to a crack team. Andy Taylor from Duran Duran on guitar and Tony Thompson of Chic on drums. The production is sleek and relentless, each line snapping into place behind Palmer's signature cool. But it was the music video. Those stone-faced, identical models with their red lips and slicked-back hair that burned the song into MTV history and the world's imagination. Addicted to Love shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and quickly became Palmer's calling card. But more than chart success, it stands as a snapshot of 80s style. Edgy, glamorous, and impossible to forget. Decades later, it's still a favorite at parties and on playlists, proof that some hits are truly addictive. Number 5, Why Can't This Be Love? A new frontman, a new sound, and a new chapter for one of rock's loudest legends. When Van Halen introduced Sammy Hagar in 1986, fans wondered if the magic would survive. Why Can't This Be Love was their answer, a powerful blend of classic guitar crunch and shimmering synthesizers that proved this band could evolve and still ignite arenas. Recorded at Eddie Van Halen's home-built 5150 studios in the Hollywood Hills, the song traded some of the band's wild party energy for a more melodic, introspective edge. Hagar's vocals brought urgency and warmth, while Eddie layered keyboards and those signature guitar breaks, balancing innovation with the band's roots. The chorus was pure, soaring, and radio-ready, captured longing and possibility in a way that stuck. The single soared to the top 5 on the Billboard charts and helped 5,150 become the band's first album to hit number 1. But its legacy is more than commercial. Why Can't This Be Love marked the start of a new era, expanding Van Halen's sound without losing their fire. Number 4, Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel. When Sledgehammer dropped, it didn't just break through the charts, it shattered expectations. Peter Gabriel, already known for artful experimentation, unleashed a track in 1986 that was wild, funky, and completely irresistible. From the first blast of horns to the infectious groove, it sounded like nothing else on radio. Gabriel recorded the song at Ashcombe House, his home studio in Somerset, pulling together a band of top-tier talent, including members of the legendary Memphis Horns and drummer Manu Katché. The song's playful energy and shifting rhythms brought together soul, rock, and a touch of a Motown swagger. But it was the iconic music video packed with stop-motion animation and surreal visuals that truly made Sledgehammer a pop culture earthquake, earning 9 MTV Video Music Awards and setting a standard for visual creativity. The song rocketed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it Gabriel's biggest hit. Decades later, Sledgehammer is still celebrated for its innovation, its groove, and its ability to turn every listen into an experience. Few tracks feel this alive. Number 3, Invisible Touch, Genesis. By 1986, Genesis had already reinvented themselves more than once, but Invisible Touch was their most daring transformation yet. With Phil Collins at the helm, the band embraced pop precision without losing their technical edge. The result? A song that's as immediate as it is intricate, blending crisp drum machines, layered synths, and a chorus that sticks like glue. Recorded at the Farm, their private studio in Surrey, Invisible Touch began as a jam session before morphing into a chart-topping anthem. Collins' sly rhythmic vocals float over Tony Banks' shimmering keyboards and Mike Rutherford's tight guitar lines, creating a sound that's both glossy and smart. Underneath the polish, you can still hear hints of the band's progressive past, clever time shifts, subtle transitions, and a rhythmic core that keeps the energy moving. Invisible Touch became Genesis's first and only number 1 hit in the US, turning them into global pop rock powerhouses. But more than its chart success, the song is remembered for its effortless cool and its place on every mixtape and radio dial of the decade. Pure 80s gold. Number 2, Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins. Sometimes one song can define an entire film and an era. Danger Zone did both. From the moment those synths hit, you're in the cockpit with Maverick, adrenaline spiking and the world flying by at Mach speed. Crafted for the Top Gun soundtrack, Kenny Loggins' 1986 classic is pure 80s swagger, all neon speed and sky-high stakes. The track was brought to life by producer Giorgio Moroder, with lyrics from Tom Whitlock, and recorded at Oasis Recording Studios in North Hollywood. Guitar ace Dan Huff gave the song its propulsive edge, while Loggins' vocals brought a sense of risk and excitement that fit the film's action perfectly. Strangely enough, the song almost went to other artists. Toto and REO Speedwagon both passed before Loggins made it his own. Danger Zone soared up the Billboard charts and became inextricably linked to Top Gun's sun-drenched, high-octane world. It's more than a soundtrack, it's an anthem for anyone who ever wanted to chase the horizon. Nearly 40 years later, it still gets pulses racing. Number 1. Livin' on a Prayer. No rock song captures the heart and hope of the 80s quite like Livin' on a Prayer. Released in October 1986, this was the anthem that turned Bon Jovi into global superstars and gave every dreamer a reason to sing along. The story of Tommy and Gina, two underdogs fighting for a future, became every listener's story, wrapped up in a chorus that still brings stadiums to their feet. Produced by Bruce Fairbairn and recorded at Little Mountain Sound Studios in Vancouver, the song is a showcase of everything the era did best. Richie Sambra's talkbox riff, John Bon Jovi's soaring vocals, and a melody that explodes with pure purpose. Oddly, John Bon Jovi almost left it off the album, but a late-night rearrangement gave the song its signature lift, and history was made. Livin' on a Prayer shot straight to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. More than just a hit, it was a rallying cry. Decades later, it's still the ultimate sing-along, echoing from karaoke bars to sold-out stadiums, a living proof that sometimes faith and a great hook really can carry you through.